What's going on, you guys? Today I'm making my predictions for NA and EU. Some of these rosters haven't even been announced, so this might be a big yikes. But today I'm here with basically.
What's up, gamers?
Okay. So like I said, these rosters have not been confirmed yet, so please take this with a grain of salt. So today, should we start with EU or NA, and then
Well,
what do you think?
considering I'm esports mentally impaired, let's go NA because it's easier.
NA.
Yeah, let's go some NA.
All right, so basically, like you said, he's not really following the Rocket League esports side too closely, like I am. So he might not get these predictions right. So don't roast him in the comments. Okay, so NA, who do you have number 8? Or should we start for like 8-7, and then 6-5, and then 4? No, yeah, 8-7, 6-5-4, then 3-2-1, like that.
Let's just do one at a time.
All right, then we can have like a little segment. Okay, I like that. All right, what do you have at your number 8?
I have Space Station Gaming.
Interesting. See, already starting off with the bang. He has a big name org space station with some big players at the bottom. I do not agree with that. I had Birds and the Beast. Except he doesn't really have an explanation why. He's just like randomly choosing. So why I had Birds and the Beast, they lost their best player missed. He went to the Peeps. So they're scrambling for a new third. They have been really trying out Drippe, the new guy, which I think he's gonna go there. Like said, take this grain of salt, which means they become EG, and Birds and the Beast do not feel like comfortable with Drippe, or they haven't thought about him in their head yet, because they've been trying him out in like all these tournaments that we're seeing. Like there's like a tournament like once every 2 weeks, and I haven't seen him on that team yet. They tried out Atomic, and I think only Atomic, and they did okay, but then Atomic then tried out with the Peeps and all that. Or I might think of Atomic. It might not be Atomic. It might be someone else. But they didn't do well with them. So I don't see Birds and the Bees doing that hot in RLCS with the big teams. Who do you have at number 7?
I have Birds and the Bees, and I actually have
Okay.
a little bit of reasoning behind this.
Mhm.
Well, but like I was in what was it? I was in West Virginia like 2 months ago. I got bored, so I started watching all of the Rlrs videos on YouTube. And I mean, they look good enough for the Rlrs, but especially after losing one of their better players, I'd say they're not fit for RLCS as well as they
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah, I feel like Birds and the Bees had that type of RLS playstyle that sometimes won't work in RLCS because RLCS players have big brains. And I don't think they're like rotationally. I think they're rotationally solid, but their mechanical abilities kind of relied on Mist, and Mist is gone now. So they're gonna really need someone to fill in the shoes. Who I have at number 7 is Ghost Gaming. Ghost Gaming is an interesting team because they're also in that trial period where they're trying out new thirds as Lethamir is gone, or they kicked him. I've seen them try out Mist, who's now on the Peeps. I thought they were really well. They went to Game 5 against G2 and DreamHack Montreal qualifiers, but Mist decided to go to the Peeps. Ghost Gaming and the team beyond that tournament, they tried out. What was it they tried out? I believe they tried out. Oh my god, I'm brain farting. They tried out Atomic. There we go. They tried out Atomic and they went to the finals, but then they got absolutely smashed by NRG. I believe the goal differential was like 15-2, something like that. It was terrible. It could be that Energy is that good, or it could be Ghost Gaming. It's not that good. And so I have Atomic down for Ghost, I believe. I think he's gonna be their new third. I don't think they're gonna do that hot with him. In my opinion, he is a really good mechanical player, but he has not been in LCS or in LRS before, coming off his ban lifted a couple years ago when he played on Corrupt's account. So yeah, who do you have at number 6?
I got Ghost Gaming.
All right, Ghost Gaming. You see him barely surviving the promotional relegation tournament, barely not being able to get in there. I have Space Station in there. I feel like this is a downgrade, in my opinion, from Sathu to Arsenal, because I feel like they didn't really need Arsenal. Arsenal's abilities is not the same as Sathu's in the sense where he's not really the leader and not as a more of a rotational base player. He's more of a mechanical speed-esque player, and that's what they don't lead because they have Typical who could just like do everything with that, and they have XP to support that. I feel like Southie was the guy who will always talk in their comms, and I don't see Arsenal doing that too much, as much as Southie at least, because Typical is like a shy boy. He doesn't really talk much, and XP is French Canadian, so he can't talk English at all. All right, so we have the bottom tier teams done. So who do we have as our upper esque teams? Number 5, who do you have, Ben?
I got the Peeps.
Yeah, same. Actually, this is the one thing we agreed on. We talked about this earlier, Renee. This is like one of the few ones that we agreed on that was not the big 4, in my opinion. So the bottom 4, we could not really agree on, but like the only one we can. That's because the Peeps, they look really strong. They have the 2 top RLRS players. And last season, that Red was number 1, and right behind them was Mist, who they just picked up from Burmese. And that team's going to be strong, rotational. Their speed is going to be pretty quick. Their gameplay is going to be really fast going. And Gyro's there to support them. And like I said, they have the top 2 LRS players on their team, and they look strong in my opinion. They're going to be really good. So number 4, I think we have the same number 4.
Oh, we got Rogue.
Yes, we do have Rogue coming off the top 4 finish in Rlcs season 7. Pretty strong, very unexpected for them. Some people predicted them to not come out of the groups. Some people even before didn't think they were going to come out and be able to qualify for LAN. They had them in that 5th, 6th area in NA Rlcs, but they ended up making it through going to LAN. Then they popped up. Kernovi's experience really showed in those big games against Barcelona and against Triple Trouble. He just not cared, but he could tell he was leading them on. AJ played phenomenal mechanically. Wonder played super solid too. Don't forget, Wonder is also a pretty mature man, 24, something like that, really old guy. Esports. And I feel like that's going to carry them again to another top 4 finish, and we'll qualify them for LAN. Who do you have number 3? I think we have it different. I'm pretty sure. Who do you have number 3?
I have Cloud9.
Oh, we do have the same one. Okay,
I think we got the same top 4.
Yeah, I think we do. So yeah, Cloud9, really fast, really rotationally sound too. But I feel like that they can't break top 2 online. I think on the LAN, if it was a LAN environment, they would be top 2 right up there. But because they perform LAN a lot, but on online, sometimes they kind of falter. They drop a series here and 2 where they probably shouldn't, and that's why I see maybe they drop a series to NRG, maybe beat G2, but then like last season, maybe drop to like a lower team. Last season they dropped to Space Station year before, or the season before they dropped to TLG. Like they're shaky in online, so that's why I think that won't do that well as teams will expect them. So I'm pretty sure you have G2 number 2, Ben.
In fact, I do.
Yeah, G2 coming off a finals appearance and Worlds, losing Vitality 4-1.
But still, it's a finals appearance.
Yeah, the first finals appearance looked very shaky in the finals. Nerves got to them. You could tell vividly on stage. It got to them, the pressure, especially when they landed that 0-second goal in game 1. That I think that got to them a lot. Then losing in that same overtime, like 5 minutes into it. Really tough for a team to bounce back, especially in the finals with all eyes on you. Perhaps expecting you to win because they beat Vitality day 1 of groups 3-1 in a very close series 3-1. Like I said, G2, I don't think they could crack Energy for 1 because they have Turbo. You have number 1 Turbo. Turbo Pulsa, 3-time world champion. He's the reason he's a 3-time. He is the online LAN everywhere. His presence is felt. He is so good rotationally. He's a great mechanical player, whether it be for his shots, his passes. It's there. That's someone that they need. They need someone with good LAN experience. And like Fireburner, sometimes the nerves would get to him, and wouldn't like improve his ability. His play style was plateau at LAN, but I felt like turbos will increase at LAN, if that makes sense. So that's our top 8 NNA. So we're like moving on to EU and see what our top 8 would be for EU. So who do you have in number 8?
I feel like we're going to differ on EU quite a bit, at least on the bottom 5.
EU
and
is
bottom
tough
4.
EU is tough, super tough to predict because you don't know if. Because sometimes teams will just drop a series randomly, like last year, Vitality was dominant play, and then lose to Triple Trouble randomly. Like just like that. We predicted Dignitas and TSM last season, to get top 4. They didn't even make land. So you never know with EU. Who do you have number 8?
I just chose Veloce because I don't really know their Rocket League team that well.
Yeah, so Veloce is a team that were in the promotion tournament. They didn't qualify for Rlcs, so they get dropped back down. But then Triple Trouble ended up disbanding, so they picked the 3rd place team from promotion to get promoted, and that was Veloce. But for me, number 8 is I am not impressed with Dignitas at all. I don't know. This feels like it's a team that's 3 ball chasers who don't mesh well. If that makes sense. Like they're not ball chasers, like the not dumb ball chasers, but like they all 3 have the exact same play style where they use boost heavily. They rely on their mechanical abilities to push them. And I feel like Astro is a very new player. He hasn't even qualified for Rlrs, so we don't know what to expect from that team. I expect them to get bottom, to be honest, because Astro, Yukio, it doesn't feel like he's comfortable with the team, and the Violent Panda just feels like he's just there. He's not like doing anything special for that team. Who do you have number 7?
Well, we both agree on that Dignitas is going to be near the bottom because I went with them at number 7.
Yeah, both of us agree that Dignitas and Loche are the bottom 2. Because I have Loche 7, we just haven't flip flopped. I feel like Loche, it's tough for them because we haven't seen Casio on that team before. Casio is an aggressive striker. His ability to put the ball in the net is very well. He has Freaky to support and Flame to support as well. But I just don't feel like that team could like break, could make upsets, and that makes sense because they're like, I don't know if their play styles. Well, with when they had Niels Cook instead of Casio, their play style was weird because like sometimes they couldn't keep up the speed with the upper RLCS teams. Maybe that's what Casio can do, but if his team can't support him with the speed of RLCS players, I don't think they can do well. So who do you have at number 6?
I was a big fan of this team a bunch of seasons ago, but I'm going with Complexity.
Interesting. I have Complexity too because Complexity, I thought before this drama thing with Flakes where he wanted Breezy to get kicked, Magnus said no. Both Magnus and their coach Nasky said no. And then, so they ended up kicking out Flakes for about a week. Then they ended up making up. Flakes comes back on the team, and then the first tournament they lose to some absolute randoms in the quarterfinals. 2 BIM, 1 BAM, I think is what their team was called. Lost to them. That was terrible from them. That I don't know. I think the chemistry is destroyed now, in my opinion. After that, I don't think that they don't have trust in them. I had them at as far as maybe number 2 before this happened, but then drama happened, and now I've seen them.
I feel like there's just going to be a bunch of behind the scenes drama that's going to cause falling out between Complexity. I feel like
that kind of what happened with Triple Trouble. That like once they started doing bad, they just went straight downhill. So who do you have at number 5?
Well, I got the Bricks.
Interesting. I have Barcelona. I feel like their team, Barcelona, like they're losing their carry. I feel like they're losing Alpha 54, right? And he was like sometimes when Bluey and Devo weren't playing so well, which is like maybe half the league play season, Alpha carried them to the win. Alpha is so crazy. His ability to be able to make not one but two people miss when he's doing his thing. It's crazy. That's what allows Barcelona to be able to push up. And now they don't have him. They have Ronicky, who's is in his own right is a great player. He's great shooting ability, but I don't think he has the ability to make not one but two people miss like Alpha 54. That's why I don't see them making land. Who do you have number 4?
For number 4, I went with PSG.
Fair enough. I have the Bricks at number 4. I feel like the a lot and speed combo, it works so well because you could tell they're best friends. They're like goofing around on stage. It feels like they don't have any nerves when they're there. And then they're backed by Cookshare, one of the best players on that ever. And that team online is gonna be super scary. And I feel like that team online, if they're able to figure out if Speed and Cookster are able to figure out their online not Cookster, I'm sorry, Speed and a lot, if they're able to figure out their online presence, like how they do with LAN, that team could be very, very scary. If they're as good as LAN as they're on online, or as if they're as good at LAN, if they're as good at online as they're as LAN, I feel like they could be top 2. Yeah, number 3.
I actually got Barca on this one.
Okay. Barcelona is a great team. Like I said, I feel like that team could be either good or they could be not that good. But I have PSG at number 3. PSG, I feel like they're coming off of a June High Valencia win. That team played extraordinarily well in that finals, semifinals, quarterfinals. They were able to reverse sweep Cloud9 in the quarterfinals. They absolutely demolished Bricks in the semifinals, and then they played Energy very tight, and they ended up coming out with the win. PSG, I think they figure out their woes on defense because defense was the one I think was holding them back, and I think Valencia they look like they figured it out, and you can tell they just absolutely smashed the competition and they won. Like this team could be really scary in the future. Who do you have at number 2?
I have TSM.
So do I. See TSM. They're getting Alpha 54, which is, in my opinion, way more consistent and a higher ceiling than I9. Alpha 54X is his ability to make not one but two people miss. It's so good. It's what helps the offense, like offensive pressure, keep going. And like with I9, sometimes when I9 played bad, that's when TSM didn't play well. And since they have Alpha, who is way more consistent, he's going to have those less bad days, and which means it's going to consist of more wins from TSM, which would allow Brunko and Metanoris to be able to feel more comfortable with Alpha. They could be more aggressive. This team, it could be so good. Who do you have number 1? Oh yeah, Vitality.
Well, the only team that we haven't said.
Yeah, Vitality. Vitality, they're just coming off of a World Championship win. They're looking strong. Their ability to keep offense pressure, like I said, Alpha 54 has the ability to make two people miss. All 3 of these players on Vitality have the ability to make two people miss. They're like so well. Their offensive pressure is able to lock down the defense, chokehold the defense until they just score. Like the only problem with Vitality I see is their defensive rotations is kind of bad, but we don't get to see that often because they're always on offense. So that team's scary too. Top 3, I feel like is scary for me. So it's top 3. Okay, so that's our predictions from NA and EU. We hope you enjoyed it. Peace.
Yeah.